The karmic cycle. Can we escape our karmic loops of self-sabotage and actually get to a higher plane? Sometimes it feels like there's this dreadful sensation of desperation when we're trying to claw our way up, but nothing seems to work. And if you're a person who has an understanding of spirituality, there's a message you want to express, an authentic version of yourself that you want to express, you want to make it your life, your mission, and you actually want to make a lot of money from it, then you need to be careful of the hypnotic trance. And it's the same as the karmic loop, actually. The karmic loop and the symbol for the hypnotic trance, if you've noticed, are both the cyclical pattern. But within the tarot cards, you can see right at the outside of the loop are the clouds and the cherubim and angels, heaven. So in this video, I'm going to teach you how to write your own hypnotic trance, because it turns out you're always in one. And if you don't make your own, somebody else is writing them for you, and you're basically a bot for them. So this all started when I went to see a live video by Marcel Klein. It was a live seminar, actually. It wasn't a video. And this was in Los Angeles, and he's the world's best hypnotist that I know of. He can do incredible things, reprogram people's minds to believe they're someone else, forget their name, make you instantly confident, things like that. It's pretty incredible. But he had an urgent message, which is that you are simply a product of whatever hypnotic trance you are in. And the hypnotic trance is simply the activities and actions you're programmed to do. And those are decided by who you believe you are. So if you want to change the actions, you change who you believe you are. And what follows from the actions and the identity is your reality. So sometimes the external environment might lag behind the actual identity, but if you want to change, that's the first step. Now, this is important not just for prosperity and money, but also because you might be watching this video as a person who already has that. So what you want right now is the ability to express fear freely. What you want right now is the ability to get in touch with your true creative self and be unfiltered, and it not necessarily be separate from everything you've built. You know, you don't want to be someone who can get canceled for being themselves. And that's happened to a lot of people. So step one, and I'll detail 3 processes. Step 1 has to do with the video. I don't know if you've seen this guy on YouTube. He wears the glasses and he has like a full spreadsheet list on the side here, and his thumbnails is just him with his glasses on. He's a white guy. Daddy. All right, let's stop. And he's got this list right here. And he talked about how a lot of times we allow the external environment to determine our internal state. And the reason why that is a problem, if you want to write your own hypnotic trances that benefit you, is because then your identity becomes flawed and you get stuck in this loop of a self-fulfilling prophecy. So you feel the external stimulus, it makes you feel bad, and in order to fix the bad feeling, or in reaction to the bad feeling, you might do something that further enforces that you're in that bad state, like drugs or something. You know, I have had this problem at length. I've overcome marijuana. I have actually no desire to do it anymore, and I'm slowly getting through a nicotine addiction that has been with me for years, but I'm right on the edge of the breakthrough, and it has to do with what you decide to do in the moment when the feeling comes. Like, for example, when I get a feeling that I want to vape, every time I say no and don't do it, that that's not what I do. I'm a new person. My identity in that moment is the person who doesn't do that. And so as the person who doesn't do that, my action reflects, which is not hitting the vape. And then my reality reflects. I can breathe easier. I have more energy. I have fewer sniffles. And that goes into a loop effect where I do better work. I interact with people better. I have more positive, and things get even better from that. But it all went to the reaction to the initial stimulus and what I decided to do in that moment. And that is a very important principle because it relates to the Devil tarot card. The devil is the test itself. The devil is the sensation that wants to tie you to a negative karmic loop or keep you in somebody else's hypnotic cycle. The devil saying, hey, if you take a hit of this, that bad feeling will go away. But the devil's the father of lies. That's a lie. Actually, what will happen is you'll feel good in the moment, and then that feeling will come right back. And that's the hypnosis, stuck in this cycle. But the first step to writing your own hypnosis is deciding, okay, who's the person I'm trying to be, first of all? And what do they do? So that when the test from the devil comes, you can just go back to the understanding of what the person that lives the life you want to live does and pick that option. Easier said than done, right? Here's another thing that helps and makes that easier. Your environment. When I was in Los Angeles, I was at the seminar went from 3 p.m. to like 2 a.m. in the morning. And, I would have thought to myself before then, I don't know if I'd be able to sit and listen to people talk for, 10 hours? I'm screwing up the math. That's 11 hours. But not only did I do it, I enjoyed most of it, and I didn't feel tired throughout it. That all had to do with the people that was around me, the environment I was in. I was in an environment of people who are operating at a higher level, who to them, getting something good, this good information was energizing and it was worth time. Who to them, things just get better and better because we're learning or speaking. To them, changing the false belief of, you're going to get tired is simply a matter of, no, you're not. And just being in a place with that many people that believed it changed how I felt. And it reduced the barrier to entry of making the right decision in the moment. It helped me write my own hypnotic trance that was beneficial for me. And as a result, I was able to get all the information, including what I'm telling you now about the hypnotic trance. I was able to get motivation. I was able to get frameworks that will help me help you at a deeper level and help you write some of your own hypnotic trances. If you want to do that transformational work with me 101, link in bio, you can schedule a discovery call. And I'll tell you something else that's really easy you can do in a second that also helps with that. So the third thing you can do to write your own hypnotic trances is mantras. See, one thing I used to do was listen to a lot of negative music. And this also goes to the people I was around, because they were a lot of the times the people playing it. And a lot of the times they were people saying terrible things out of their mouths. It was so crazy because even though I get this was in jest, I never felt good about it. When I was in middle school and high school, there was this thing where people would just call you ugly. They're like, boy, you're ugly. And I'm like, what the fuck? Why would you say that? They're like, you don't talk to your friends like that. You know, like I get that it's like banter, but I don't know what kind of banter that is. I don't want people to talk to me like that. I don't talk to people like that. And as a result, you know, and I was struggling with my self-esteem a lot of that time. And I couldn't actually see that I was actually very handsome. And I am now, of course. But so I was eating more to cope with that feeling, a lot of junk food. I gained weight, and then I started looking worse. See how that hypnotic trance works? It's crazy, right? It all goes back to what the fuck you're saying to yourself and the mantras. So here's something that relates to tarot. That's an ancient tool, which is the black mirror, the scrying mirror, where you look into the mirror and you tell yourself the reality you want and good things. It's a subliminal message. It's not whoop-de-woo. You really need to go have a look at Marcel Klein, because this guy literally programs people to believe there's somebody else right in front of your fucking face. It's real shit. Let me calm down. And this is a 3-step framework that you can employ to write your own hypnotic trances that benefit you, can get you to a higher level. And especially if you're a person who cares about expressing themselves deeply, expanding spiritually, and making prosperity for yourself, you know, lots of money, which is definitely something I'm trying to do. Why wouldn't you be trying to do that? But it all begins with first clearly identifying who you want to be. What does that person do? Then step 1, when you get, and see that part of that's the sniffles from like the withdrawal from the vaping I've been doing. Like I get sniffles in my nose, right? But I've changed that reality for myself. You get the feeling, the devil's test, and you do the thing that the person that you are, truly are, does. Make the right decision. Next thing is you change your environment. And I should add something about this, which is sometimes when that environment isn't physically available, immerse yourself however you can. Watch the videos of the place you want to be. Have pictures on your phone, your screensaver. And this goes to the next part, which is the subliminal programming, right? What are you seeing in your environment? What are you hearing? What is the music you're listening to? What are the people around you saying to you? And here's where what gets into the next part is that when you employ all these, you might find that where you are, the people around you, the environment, they're no longer compatible with who you are, and you have to leave them. And that's a lonely period. It's the hermit's path, the purgatory between where your developmental period, where you are that person, but the world around you and the people around you, there's a latency period before they start to reflect who you are. And you embody the magician. And that can discourage a lot of people, but it's okay because it's all in your head, right? You can feel good whenever you want to. Go back and replay the methods of the hypnotic trance. If you're somebody who feels good, just follow that cycle and make yourself feel good. You don't need drugs to do it. Here's why you have to do this now rather than later. Because I've said this in a lot of videos before. We're in an age of where there's money being printed out of the sky. You can express yourself and find an audience with the magical screen I'm talking to you right now and the internet. And the laws and regulations, especially if you live in the West, by and large are fairly free. So if you create a foundation on your authentic self and people come to you for that, they can't cancel you for it. It's the Eminem effect. The reason why during the canceled culture period, he never got canceled is because his whole product was being From the beginning, what they were buying from him was him being rude and unfiltered and politically incorrect. So you can't cancel him for him because that's his product in the first place. Now's the time to build that, because when they start cracking down, I hope this never happens, of course, on expression, because somebody else is trying to propagate their own hypnotic trance. By the way, the government does this. They have whole government departments developed to psyops for the public, Cold Warfare operations on the masses to keep them under control, or other countries. China's doing them to us. We're doing it to China. They're doing it to themselves. They're going to get worse and worse over time, the more that people get weaker and weaker. But you have a mission and a goal, and this isn't just about your own prosperity, although that's very important. It's also about other people, because once you establish that for yourself, in the process of establishing it for yourself as well, as I'm doing now, you can bring other people with you, with your message and your truest expression, because this is the age of expression. And that's my message for you today. So write your own hypnotic trance. Be wary of the psyops around you and other people trying to trap you in a lower karmic cycle. And here's an offer for you that's very low barrier to entry, and you can get started on this and get a lot of momentum that would normally be worth hundreds, if not thousands of dollars, for only $50, where I can do a tarot reading for you and send it straight to your email, a voice note, a written summary, and the full layout of the spread. Here's why this is such a valuable tool for your expression. Tarot cuts straight into your subconscious. The reason I use these in videos so much is because they're universal archetypes that speak to the collective unconscious. Same way that your dreams speak to your conscious mind with these archetypes and symbols. I can do it in waking life, and I can read what your true self already knows. The karmic cycle you're stuck in, what the block is to your expression, how you can undo that block, and what your true self looks like on the other side of that. And it's not like I'm figuring this out. You already know that subconsciously, but you might not be able to see it because you're stuck in a trance. And that can grant you not only can grant you a lot of clarity, but the clarity itself is enough to even momentarily snap you out of it and say, what the fuck? And then start doing something and employing the method I laid out to you for writing your own trances in this video. Because most people are going to watch this video and not do anything and go straight back to their trance. That's one actionable step you can take right now to help ensure that that doesn't happen. I also do deeper transformational work for people with a whole method called the I Am Journey, where we completely redo your identity and put you and write a new trance for you. It's a 5-week process. If you want to know more, schedule a discovery call down below. I love you.